Good morning, good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode number 4 of the CIU podcast. Today, we have been joined by a very special guest, Miss Claudia, who was a student support advocate with us at CIU. But fortunately, Miss Claudia has now been promoted. So, anybody who is looking or hearing this podcast, please drop a congratulations for her in the chat box. Claudia, now you are Student Affairs Manager. Can you please tell us a brief about yourself, your role? What do you do here?
Hello, thank you for having me, Aamar. So my name is Claudia, and I'm currently working as a student affairs manager. I support the student success advocates here at CIU. I work with very closely with the associate dean of academics. I work with two student success advocates for the undergraduate team, and I am working with the Master in Business Administration program.
Well, that is a big plethora of things that you do. I really don't understand how do you do that. But what I've heard is whatever you do it flawlessly. So congratulations once again
Thank you so much.
for the promotion. I know it is very well deserved. Okay, moving along on the sides of online education, and you mentioned that you used to be earlier used to work for undergraduate, but now you work for masters. According to your analysis, Claudia, what do you think is much more challenging when we do, but in terms of online education, is undergraduate much more difficult, or is masters much more difficult?
Well, I would say both. Um, we cater to a very diverse population of students for all programs here. They have different needs, of course, but I would say both programs are equally as challenging. For in the case of the undergraduate program, we need to bring this closeness to the students, which they would not have because without the student success advocates, online education could be very like monotonous, could be very like on your pace. Sometimes you won't have someone to discuss the issues you have. But when you have a student success advocate, we try to make you feel close. So we accompany you with the process throughout all the process here at CIU. When it comes to the MBA students, it's a different challenge because these students have already had some type of education, either like a in-person education or online, but they still will need the support because they will have a higher complexity when it comes to the topic. So, for example, we need to support them on how to best approach meeting deadlines, how to organize your schedule to make it work, and also sometimes even solving a few questions on when it comes to academic writing. So we have two different complexities, but they are both, I would say they are equally as difficult, but we are here to help you.
Oh, yeah, I do agree. Both of them are I think very similar when it comes to difficulty level, but very different when it comes to the content of the courses and the programs we have. Um,
Mhm.
okay, I really wanted to know more about the roles of student support advocate and uh, student affair managers that we have. What do you think are the most important skill sets that a person needs to have to work in the area of student support?
You need to be a great listener. You need to have empathy, and you need to be a good communicator. So we must help students, guide them through the programs, give them the most accurate information when it comes to their academic progress. But even if you had all the knowledge about the programs and in everything, that would count for nothing if you don't have the empathy or the good communication skills. Because most of our students will never see us face to face. So we still need to provide the support that you would get through an in-person conversation. Sometimes that is difficult, but I believe like communication skills are crucial for the student success advocate role.
Yeah, I do agree. And with an environment where we all are working online, where I believe communication is not important, but over communication is important. Like I do that
Yes.
also. Like I would text, message, email, everything to people. So yeah, I do understand where you're coming from, the importance of communication, the importance of sympathy towards the students. Um,
Mhm.
Okay, the next thing I really wanted to ask you was, what is the most beautiful thing about your job? Like, anything that you do, you get a sense of achievement. You feel like I did something good today.
It's just to be able to see the progress of the students. I believe the most rewarding cases where I live them through being an SSA for the undergraduate team, so being the student success advocate for the undergraduate students. Most of them, as I mentioned before, hadn't studied in a while or had been working in the same field for like years. So we have a big chunk of our population that's older than 50 years old. So they have been out of the school for over 30 years. So to see people that it's their first time facing online education, it's their first time learning how to use a computer or a cell phone, and they start from scratch and they struggle a lot. It's very frustrating, but with the support, you see how they start like they start to not needing you as much. So it's like when you have a baby and they slowly start walking. At first, you need to be very aware of what they are doing at all times, but eventually you just let them go a little bit and then you see that they are fine. That's the most rewarding. So I have a few students that I used to work with them, and now they are almost completing their undergraduate program against all odds. And it's just because it was a team effort between them and us to get to that point. So that would be the most rewarding.
No, it is. It is. I completely understand what you're saying because I just today itself I met with a student. He's in the DRP program, and I just met him with something like some concerns, and he was like, "I did the eco course with you a year ago," and it just shows that how quickly they have progressed through. They're now in the research aspect of it, which is a total
Yeah.
different ball game. So yeah, it is rewarding when they remember you or when you see them move along in the course. One last thing before we wrap up today's session. Um, what if given a chance to change one thing in online education that can make this system much more beneficial, this system much more easy on the students, what would be the thing that you would like to change?
Create some kind of leveling course when it comes to the technological competences. So
Mhm.
in the States, all of the programs have general education courses like math or sciences. But I feel like the technological competences sometimes are put aside. So if we started with only focusing on that, I think we would level the playing field for everyone, because we have most of our students are not very tech savvy. They learn along the way. But if they knew beforehand, that would make it much easier for them, way less frustrating. And then they would be able to use the energy and mental focus to um, actually put it on the course content instead of learning how to use the computer.
Oh no, that's a very good idea. And I don't know why I never thought about it like a introductory to IT course that basically teaches them the basics of how they can perform something using information technologies. Oh yeah, that's a very good suggestion. And we should put it up in front of the management and see what they can do for us here.
That would be great.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Claudia, for being here, for giving us the time, and also explaining us your role. And as I said, it's you are a very important and integral part of CIU. And I still, after listening to everything you say, have awe of how do you guys do that? How do you guys do so much? And then with this beautiful smile on the face as well. So that's a perk.
Thank you so much, Aamar.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. And please, again, Claudia just got a promotion. Go into the comment section, congratulate her. And if you need any further information or any topics that you want us to discuss, please send us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.